Hey, Hubex hier zu einer weiteren Folge von What Remains of Edith Finch. Und ja, ich mache hier noch ein paar Screenshots gerade, weil das schaut schon verdammt cool aus, wenn man ehrlich ist. Und, ja. Ich werde hier mal weiter gucken. Hier war ja anscheinend die Schule für den Privatunterricht und meine Güte, das schaut eigentlich so verboten aus, wie es hier gebaut ist.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself.
Jetzt kommen wir also zu Louis. Und wir sind dann ganz oben auf der Kette gewesen, oder wie?
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
What the fuck, das ist abgefahren. Ich meine, verdammt cool, aber auch verdammt unsicher. Ich meine, das kann nie durchgehen bei der Baubehörde. Um ehrlich zu sein. Und hier oben müssten wahrscheinlich dann wir gewesen sein. Ich meine, das Haus hat ein Schiff aussehen. Beziehungsweise die Hütte hier. Das Zimmer, wie auch immer. Und eine Shisha. Nice.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Na, Shisha steht hier. Ich habe ja auch eine. Bieröffner, natürlich. So eine Art SNS. Oder irgendwas immer Highschool-Diplom. Eine Game-Ecke, also der war Gamer. Cool. Das ist echt eine verdammt geile Aussicht für so ein Gaming-Dingens, aber ja. Wir werden jetzt schauen, wahrscheinlich wie gestorben ist, ne?
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander.
Oh.
I asked him to describe it.
Where does this gonna go?
He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads.
Okay, ist gerade eine schwierige Übung tatsächlich.
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Was ist cool mit Einblendung?
But he found something more.
Alter.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Louis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Louis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Louis Topia.
Wow.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play.
Ich bin gerade so richtig baff.
He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Das mussten die reinmachen, ne?
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering.
Muss ich hier hin, ne?
It became a game for him.
Oh lol. Okay. Skyrim.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on.
Age of Empires.
New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
Ja, lenken und Fische zacken gleichzeitig ist schwierig, ne?
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on. In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
Ich will das schon machen können, schade.
The queen was on her own quest for sinister serpents. He followed the sound of her electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Wie cool ist das bitte?
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Kaiser.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Oh. Shit. Und jetzt sind wir hier. Und was macht er? Drang er sich selbst in den Tod? Hier ist eine 3DS-Switch-Dingens. Shisha.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Louis, the cannery worker.
Tja. Das stimmt wohl, ne?
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Okay, er bekommt gar nichts mehr mit.
I still thought I could save him.
Tja.
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico, and insisted on advising him. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Er hat sich in der Firma selbst geköpft. Verdammt.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him. Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Ja, und dann ist er halt wirklich gestorben, ne? Alter. So deprimierendes Spiel. Aber auch verdammt geil, die Erzählweise.
On the way back from Louis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Jetzt müssten wir eigentlich das Zimmer von...
I wish we'd stayed.
Ich wünschte, wir wären geblieben. Ja, wir müssen...
But I understand why we left.
Wir wissen noch nicht, wie Mutter gestorben ist. Und Edie selber. Das ist halt die Frage, ne? Ich glaube, wir werden das sehr bald herausfinden. Deswegen...
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Sanjay Kumar. To teach and to learn. Darwin Finch. Was ist Darwin Finch? Okay.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
Ich meine, die Aussicht ist so schön hier, aber trotzdem.
Maybe it should have come sooner.
Oh, Ediths Raum. Wie es ausschaut. Mit Leitern und alles. Eigentlich ein Traum.
But it had to end one way or another.
Ediths Zimmer.
All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Eine Feder.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
It's Little Miss Edith, wie es ausschaut.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Anscheinend, ja.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
History of the Finches by Edith Finch.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Spielen wir jetzt Edie selbst oder was? Nein, schon nicht.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Warum geht man, wenn hier noch was ist?
I got turned around.
Alter, ist das krass.
I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Das ist krass. Da geht man aus über 70, wahrscheinlich schon 80 zu dem Zeitpunkt.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here? It's mine. Edith! Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go!
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
So, fahren wir?
I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
What the fuck? Ich weiß nicht, wie lange es noch dauert.
A few years went by. My mom doesn't like to talk about it,
Aber ich kann das machen.
but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself.
Sind wir gerade, wo ich meine...
But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Wie? 18 Jahre? Hä? Wie bin ich denn gestorben? Das Haus wurde größer. Jetzt verstehe ich gar nichts mehr. Jetzt verstehe ich gar nichts mehr. Was passierte jetzt mit uns? Oh Mann, ich will es wissen. Oh Mann, das Spiel war so gut. Jetzt weiß ich wieder nicht. Mann. Verdammt. Tja. Ach Mann, oh Mann, oh Mann, oh Mann, oh Mann. Ich wollte es doch so gern wissen, was passiert ist. Und jetzt bin ich noch... Jetzt habe ich noch mehr Fragen als vorher. Oh Mann, ist das kacke. Ach, das Spiel war so gut. Kurz, aber unglaublich gut. Wie ist sie jetzt gestorben? Und ich wollte die Geheimnisse des Buches lesen und... Naja. Naja. Schauen wir uns dann mal die Credits ändern. So gut einfach. So kreativ. Aber warum starb sie mit 18? Warum? Das hätte ich gern gewusst. Oder habe ich es übersehen? Ich weiß es nicht. Hätte ich was anderes machen können. Ich habe nicht mal vom Tod der Mutter erfahren. Habe ich was übersehen? Das ist die Frage. Das ist echt die Frage. Aber trotzdem... Chichi. Es war echt unglaublich. A trick or treat, smell my feet. Okay. Enjoy, thank you. Fünf Jahre dran gearbeitet, wow. The End. Dawn habe ich gar nicht gefunden, oder? Naja. Bis 2017. Ein Jahr nach ihrer Mutter gestorben. Also noch schlecht bis bei Geburt gestorben oder was? Und Edie. Alter, das war so gut. Auf jeden Fall danke fürs Zusehen. Wir sehen uns in einem anderen Projekt wieder und bis dahin. Spielt schön brav weiter.